Okay, so in this next video, I'm going to explain the solutions of the problems on page 4 of the Assessment 1, Type 1, and Basic Geometry. So let's start immediately with number 11. Okay, so number 11, I gave a problem that involves a kite. Okay, the key here is to know the characteristics of a kite. Okay, so in a kite, in most cases, you will be given like in this form, and a special characteristic of a kite is that the two adjacent sides of a kite have the same measure. So you have two pairs of adjacent sides that have the same measure. So AD has the same measure as AB, and DC has the same measure as BC. Now, if that is the case, then that means you have actually two congruent triangles involved in a kite. It's like you have two congruent triangles combined into a kite. That is why if the angle here is 34, then the other angle here must also be 34. Now, our goal here in this particular problem is to find x. Now, once you recognize that this is 34, you can focus your attention on this triangle to solve for the value of x. The idea is the sum of the angles in any triangle, like any triangle, all triangles, will always be 180 degrees. So if I remove 34 and 26 from 180 degrees, then whatever is left should be the measure x. So that is why here you see a 180. I subtracted 26, that's one of the angles, and then I will subtract as well 34, the other angle, and just compute, you'll get x equals 120. So that's how you solve number 11. Now in number 12, so what is the measure of each exterior angle of a regular hexagon? Okay, the only thing that you need to know here is that the sum of the exterior angles of any polygon is fixed, and it's always 360. So if the given figure is a hexagon has 6 sides, then the measure of one of the exterior angle is just the sum, which is 360 divided by the number of sides of the hexagon. And in this case, we have 6 sides for the hexagon. So 360 divided by 6, you get 60 for each exterior angle. Okay. Number 13. What is the sum of the measure, or what is the sum of the interior angles of an octagon? So an octagon has 8 sides. We simply follow the formula for the in getting the sum of the interior angles, and that is basically 8 minus 2 times 180. So this is an octagon, so the n, which is the number of sides, is 8. So following the formula, you have 8 minus 2 times 180. As you can see here, so it became 8 minus 2 times 180, so you get 6 times 180, and that should give you 1080 degrees. Okay, number 14. Find the number of sides of a regular polygon if each exterior angle of a polygon is 40 degrees. Now, whenever you see the word regular, it means all the sides are the same, and then that means all the interior angles of the polygon are also the same. So since each angle has a measure of 40, and the sum of these angles is 360, then if we divide 360 by the number of sides, which is unknown here, we don't know the number of sides, okay? If you divide the sum of the angles divided by the number of sides, then you will get one of the exterior angle, and in this case it says 40. So 360 divided by the number of sides is equal to one measure, which is 40. So with this equation, you can have this transform into 360 divided by 40 equals n. Okay, so some people will like do it this way. You can have you can multiply this by n, both sides. So you have this cancels out. So 360 equals 40n, and then you have to divide by 40. So that gives you 360 over 40 equals n. And if you solve for 360 over 40, you get n equals 9. So you have 9 sides for this regular polygon. Okay, number 15. So find the number of sides of a regular polygon if each interior angle of the polygon is 150. So the idea here, since we're talking about interior angles of a polygon, so since we are dealing with interior angles of a polygon, so what we know is that we can always get the sum of the interior angles of a polygon, and that formula is n minus 2 times 180. So if I want to get one of the measures of the angles, all I have to do is to divide it by the number of sides, and I will get one of the measure, or the measure of one of the angles, the interior angles. Now, since it was mentioned that the one of the measure is 150. So if I have n minus 2 times 180 divided by the number of sides, then that will be equal to 150. And then I will just work on this equation, solve this, multiply both sides by n. You get n minus 2 times 180 equals 150 times n. And then try to distribute 180 to n, you get 180n. 180 times 2 is 360, so you have minus signs, minus 360, and then equals 150. Now put together the n, so you have 180 minus 150, so subtract 150n on both sides, you get 180 minus the 150, so you have to subtract it, and then the 360, so add 360 on both sides. This will turn into 30n equals 360. So I need you to work on your algebra to work on this, or to solve for this equation, okay? So you have 30n, that's the result of 180n minus 150n, and then 360 on the other side. So to find n, all you have to do is to divide both sides by 30, and 360 divided by 30 is equal to 12. So the number of sides of the polygon is 12. Okay, so I hope you understand the solution to page 4. Basically, that's how you do it. Okay, that's it.